GATE 2021 Metallurgy Question 27. Match the forming processes in column 1 with its name in column 2. Basically, we have to identify which forming process is being represented in the figure. So, if you look at the column 1, the first process in which a punch is made to apply the compressive and tensile stress on the workpiece, and this is basically a sheet metal operation where the sheet metal is forced into the cavity or the cup of the hollow cavity without altering the thickness using compressive and tensile force. So this process is known as deep drawing operation. Many components in your kitchen are made using this operation. One example is your glass tumbler, metallic tumbler, that is generally made using deep drawing operation. If you look at the second image, the Q, here you can see there is a ram. Which is the forcing the raw material or the workpiece, okay, through a narrow opening. Here is the opening, narrow opening. Okay. Generally, the opening is having constant cross section. Okay. So we tend to reduce the diameter and increase the length of the raw material. So this is known as extrusion, and depending upon whether the raw material is hot or cold, it can be hot or cold extrusion. And in your real life, if you must be using the toothpaste on a daily basis. So when you tend to squeeze out the toothpaste through a narrow opening, so it is generally extrusion process. Okay. So we are generally basically using compressive stresses, okay, to squeeze out the metal through a narrow opening. Okay. This is known as extrusion process. Now, looking at the next process, here you can see the workpiece is subjected to compressive stresses in one direction, and it is under this compressive load, the workpiece tends to change its shape. Okay. And here, since the die is open, so we call it as open die forging. Okay. So one real life example is you take some clay, put it on a surface and beat it with a hammer. The clay will flatten out. Okay. Similarly, the workpiece will also tend to expand in perpendicular direction. So that is known as open die forging. Next is, you can see two rollers. The workpiece is made to pass through these rollers, and you can observe the change in the thickness of the billet or sheet metal. Okay. The workpiece can be cylindrical, workpiece can be square billet, rectangular billet, okay, or a sheet metal. So basically it is used to reduce the thickness. This operation is reduced, generally used to reduce the thickness of the workpiece. And since we are using two rollers, so this operation is known as rolling operation. These two rollers apply the compressive stress. In one real life example I can quote is, you must have looked at the sugarcane juice machine. There the sugarcane is made to pass through such kind of rollers to squeeze out the juice from the sugarcane. Okay, so that is a kind of rolling operation. So the correct series will be, the P is deep drawing is 3, Q is your extrusion is 1, your figure R represents your open die forging, and your figure S represents your rolling operation, that is 2. So the correct option is your option B. To know more about the forming processes and its classification, you can refer the NPTEL video on lecture 2, Principle of Metal Forming Technology, by Professor Pradeep Kumar Jha, Department of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering, IIT Roorkee.